Hello and welcome, guys, to episode 2 of the Road to GeoGuessr World Cup, is what I called it, I think, that series. So, if you haven't heard and if you're new to this channel, to this series, to this video, um, the World Cup for GeoGuessr is happening in 2023 in Stockholm in October. And on the website, you can even see a page here, you can go check it out. And I'm going to be playing in it, and this video series is sort of going to, just be my preparation basically. And yeah, I want you guys to see how I'm preparing. You can give me tips, and that way maybe I can prepare even better. And yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, to be honest, it's just free content for me, right? The World Cup's coming up, and it's more videos to make for me, so it's a win-win for everyone, I think. Um, but let's get into the video itself. If you missed the previous video, I basically did like a Excel where I went country by country and sort of pointed out what I wanted to improve on in each country. And since then, basically a few things have happened. So let's go step by step. First of all, they've announced even more players for the World Cup, and that is exciting. So let's go through them first and take a look. So yeah, on this page you can find all the information, and here we have the new players. So earlier we had all these first six: Blinky, Jake, Kodiak, Mac, myself, and a Zigzag. And now we have five more: Fungus representing Canada, Harmless from Norway, and Chupa from China. And then we have Anna and Wolf Trekker as well completing the list. So this is, if we look at the first set of players announced, I think it was like moving heavy because Blinky, I mean, it's not like out of the ordinary to say he's the best moving player. And I mean, he's also pretty good no moving NMPZ. I'm not saying he's bad at that, but like he's known for his moving. Same goes for Jake, Kodiak as well, I'd say, but I think Kodiak is also more on the balanced side with no moving and stuff. Macam also, I think, is, specialized in moving. And then, yeah, Zigzag, I'd say, is like probably one of the more no moving players. And myself, I'd say I'm just more of a balanced player, as I said in the last video. I wouldn't say I'm like specifically a moving or a no moving or whatever player. But this time, I think we have a lot of no move specialists. And Anna, of course, is very good at moving as well, one of the best. So, uh, but yeah, the rest of the four, I don't think they play moving that much. I'm actually not sure how much moving Fungus plays. I know he plays like official competitive duels, but I don't know. I feel like everyone plays that these days, though. Um, so yeah, but we have some really, really good no move players this time. And you don't want to face Fungus on Canada. I don't know, like he's definitely got the record on it, right? Surely. Let's take a look actually. Plunkett, regional records, North America, and solo ABC. Um, oh, he's not. Oh, that's probably no, but he's a reviewer. But I know that he's extremely good at Canada. Maybe he just doesn't attempt it or whatever. And then Harmless, you don't want to face him on Russia, and also in general, Harmless, I would say, is probably one of the best no moving players. He's really good. Um, just overall, I'd say. But especially also in Russia, you don't want to face him. And Jupa as well. You don't want to region guess against Jupa. Also in Brazil, you don't want to face him. He's very good at it. So it's scary. And Wolf Tracker, of course, I feel like we don't need an introduction to Wolf Tracker. He's you know, created, improved, and I feel like he has so much map making experience that, well, I mean, a few of us have because a bunch of people from here helped with ACW, of course. So it's not like we don't have map making experience, but not to the extent of Wolf Trucker, where he has mapped like 100k locations. But yeah, and you've also probably seen his YouTube. If you haven't, then you should. Um, just a very knowledgeable person, and also I think he's like probably the most knowledgeable about like architecture stuff amongst all of us because yeah, he just seems, I don't know, he just seems to know about like uh cool stuff to be honest in Europe. Like whenever I play with him, it's like, oh damn, that's cool. I didn't know that. It's always like some new information for me. Uh, so very stacked lineup so far, to be honest, and also on the moving side and also on the no moving side, so it's pretty scary. Uh, but this is 11 players so far, and there's total 24 spots, and I think four of those spots will be through qualifiers, so there's still nine players that they're yet to announce. So I have no idea who those are going to be, but I mean, like if you look at the caliber of these players, um, I'm scared. I'm scared of who the last nine will be. But I'd love to see like I think they're also trying to go for like as many like countries represented as possible, right? Because so far everyone's from a different country. Um, so would be cool to like let's say see Traboda represent Singapore or Gelotris represent Turkey. I want more like Asia representation as well. That's also why I'm a little bit biased, but no, but there's definitely like Trichter from Belgium. I mean, he could represent Belgium, and he's probably one of the best, if not the best, NMPC player at the moment, I'd say. It would be very scary to face him. And also Boki, I mean, we already have Mackem from Sweden, but like they did say that they would have like they could have multiple people from the same country. So I feel like it would be uh like Boki surely has to be there, right? He's easily one of the best. Or yeah, I don't know. Not many players at that level. So anyway, very exciting to see who else will be invited, and also very stacked lineup so far. So yeah, I'm excited, and let's get into the next part of the video, which is a continuation of the sheet from last time. Here I listed stuff. Oh, and before that, I forgot to mention, if you haven't seen it yet, actually I completely forgot about that, so I didn't really prepare for this. But there is new Street View announced for Germany. And if you're not really very familiar with the whole situation with Germany, um, let me show you. Uh, Actually, let me just get this here so I don't accidentally open something I'm not meant to. Um, yes, so here you can see all the Street View in the world, and you can see Europe has a lot of coverage, but Germany is a huge blank in the middle. And that is usually you wouldn't expect that because why don't we have Street View in Germany? We have Street View in like some big cities, but it's stuck in old Gen 2, so it's like very blurry, blurmany. And it's been there for like 10 years or something, I don't know. And it hasn't been updated. And the reason for that is because of, uh, well, it's a big deal. It's like a big story, to be honest. But like, short story is that when Street View was being released the first time, I think there was like fake news spreading or something that I think people had the impression that uh, their houses will be like covered 24 by 7 or something. But no, it's only like the Street View car will drive past your house and that's the only image it'll have of it, right? So I think people didn't really understand that concept back then. And then they all started requesting to blur their houses and whatnot. That's why we have the blur money stuff. And yeah, after that, Google was like, no, there's just too many blurring requests. This is too much for us. We're not going to deal with Germany anymore. And but they had been driving in Germany. We knew that because we had spotted Google cars. And also, if you remember, Rainbolt and Kodiak last year spotted a Google car in Germany. And so yeah, they've been driving, but they haven't been publishing the data. But they announced just like last week that Germany will finally be getting Street View. So yeah, you can go through this article. I'll link it in the description. And it basically says, in short, that from June 2022, the cars will drive again in Germany with a Gen 4 camera. And also, last year they drove with a Gen 4 camera as well. And all the coverage from 2022 will be published somewhere around mid-July, so in a month basically. And yeah, so whenever they start driving in 2023, then that coverage will also be published. So it's very exciting because it's going to be Gen 4 coverage, and we don't really know how dense the coverage will be. Because, like, for example, if you see France, the coverage is super, super dense. And if you see, let's say, Austria, the coverage is not that dense. So we don't know. Uh, I'm expecting it to be pretty dense, to be honest, but we'll have to see. Uh, but they plan to release it around mid-July, and that means that it'll come out before the World Cup, and that also means that we need to prepare for it. So I still don't really know what preparation I'll need to do no moving wise in Germany because I just don't know what it feels like to play no moving in Germany. So maybe we'll think about that later. But moving wise, I think it's like the one thing I need to do is play or learn all the districts or Landkreise in Germany. So I think there's like 300 of them or something. So it's not a small task, but I have updated that in this sheet here. So Germany, learn Landkreise. Um, so that's that. And then also I made a schedule out of this. Now I want to start off by saying this schedule is not meant to be like hard and fast. This is not meant to be like, because the thing is, I have way too many things going on in life. And honestly, I don't know. Like, there could be some weeks where I have zero time to practice at all. Like, that's possible. And maybe some week I might have to move house, and then then I'll also have no time. So this is all like subject to like this is what I've put down here is basically just an ideal timeline for me. Is that ideally I'd like all this to happen, but realistically it probably won't happen, and I'm okay with that. I'll try my best. Is as I've been saying, I'll try my best to prepare as much as I can and as much as time permits, and yeah, we'll see how far we can go. But let's get through this. This is just basically taking stuff from the to-do list and putting it into a time frame. So what I've done is I've sort of done a month or a few weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks sort of focus for a certain country for no moving as well as for moving. And then also I have weekly sort of focus items. Basically, it's basically like, let's say next week, right? If I only keep doing one thing, then I'll just get fatigued. Uh, or let's say I'm doing Russia, right? So if I only keep grinding Russia, I feel it's it happens quite often where if you only play one country, everything starts looking like that country to you. So if if I get a Kyrgyzstan or Mongolia around, I'll probably send Russia if I only keep playing Russia. So I don't want to get fatigued by looking at the same country, and it's also good for my brain, I think, because I don't know, I just like to do multiple things at once. So that's why I have two focuses, one for moving, one for no moving. So if I've done a lot of Russia and I'm getting bored of it, then I can take a break. I can focus on some Kabupaten, which is what I've put down for June. Uh, I've put Sumatra and Java only because I think those are like the hardest ones to get through. And excuse me, Kalimantan, Sulawesi, and the Nusas basically. Those are all I think a bit easier compared to. I think Sumatra is meant to be the hardest, so I want to start with that and get that out of the way, and then I can move on to the easier stuff. That's how I look at it. So that's the target for me for June. It's already like half of June is gone, and if it spills over a little bit, I think it's okay because I can't master Russia in 2 weeks. I know that, and that's also a thing is that with this time frame, I won't be able to master anything, but I'll be like right now. Let's say I'm like 30% good at it, then I want to get to like 70% good. Because if you missed the previous video, this is what I said, is that my biggest strength going into the competition is that I have like one of the more balanced profiles amongst like all the players, where I'm pretty okay at moving, pretty okay at no moving, pretty okay at NMPZ. So if I can get all of those like an 8.5 out of 10, I'm okay with that. I don't need to be 10 out of 10 at a specific thing because yeah, that's just not my strength or my profile, you know. Um, so that's my goal with Russia. Uh, and also, well, couple button, I have to learn all of them. I can't learn 80% and be happy. So for no moving is what I mean. You can't. I mean, nobody is 100. Like even if you've practiced the country like for 3 months, you'll probably sometimes send the wrong side of the country. That's also normal. Um, so yeah, just at least like learning like the more recognizable stuff, you know. Even that would be good. Um, so Russia is my goal for until second. So I've put weeks such that they start on Monday and end on Sunday. And then towards the end of the week, I'll make a sort of video updating you on my progress for the week. So that's what we have here. And for the first 2 weeks, well, because June 18th is almost here already, so I'm just combining both of them. Nothing specifically for no moving, but I want to do all the Brazil phone codes properly. Because Brazil phone codes are something I learned a while ago. I don't really remember them too well. Like I can remember the first digits sometimes, but well, not sometimes. I can usually recognize the first digits, but the second digits I've forgotten, and sometimes in the north I even mess up the first digit. So I really need to just go back and do the full 2 digits properly. Next week I'll be focusing on Kyrgyzstan and Cambodia. So I think you can expect a video towards the end of next week, maybe sometime next week, about me going through Brazil phone codes, Kyrgyzstan, Cambodia. And then also you can see my progress with Russia, or yeah, you can see, yeah, my progress, I guess. And also, if I've learned, let's say, North Sumatra button, then I can do that quiz and show you guys that I can do it. So we'll see how much I can do until next week. But those are my focus points: Brazil phone codes, Kyrgyzstan, and Cambodia. Then we move on to week 3, which will be the final week of June, where I want to go through some of the trackers. And the reason why I'm choosing easier stuff to do here in June is because Russia and Sumatra Java Kabupaten is going to be very intensive. So this is going to take a lot of time from me. So I don't want to do like super intensive stuff here. So that's why I have easier stuff here. So Madagascar, Uganda, Kenya trackers, I've learned them at some point, but it's worth going back and visiting them again, because if I get a Madagascar tracker in game and I sent the wrong city, that could be it for me. And also I want to learn Typhoon codes, because I don't think Typhoon codes are that hard to learn. I don't think there's too many of them, so I can do that as well. And then, yeah, as I said, after each week, I'll make a video to show you my progress. And let's say at the end of June, I feel like, no, I want to spend a little more time in Russia, then yeah, I can just take it a little bit more into July, maybe the first week, but then I'll probably stop it after the first week, because I don't want to like, spend all of July on Russia. Then I won't have time for the US, which I need a lot of time for. That's why I've given it a whole month. So I'm going to be a little bit flexible with June, because half of June is already over. Uh, but yeah, after that we'll see. July, I want to do US, and then also I want to finish off the other couple button in the first 2 weeks. So basically, I get a whole month to learn the couple button, which is pretty okay, I think. And then after that, I just need to keep revising so that I don't forget. With US, I have a lot to do. I have tried learning license plates in the past, but it didn't go too well for me. So I want to do that. And mainly, I just want to learn landscapes better, because like I think a lot of US, especially rural US, can be region guess based on landscape quite a bit. I just haven't like specifically focused on playing US ever, and that's why I'm so bad at it. And if I learn that and I learn more like state-specific clues, that could go a long way, I think. So definitely want to do US, finish off Cup Button, and then in the second half of July I want to also learn Thai alphabet. Thai phone codes I've already done. I don't know why I wrote it twice. I could just remove it, to be honest. Thai alphabet. So learning how to read it and then also practicing it in game to see if I can actually recognize it on the, little kilometer markers and anywhere else on signs. Would be good practice to see all that. Now let's go week by week. For no moving, I've actually given Ukraine 2 weeks because Ukraine I'm really bad at, and it is a big country, so I could lose a lot of points there. So it's also sort of a nice transition from Russia into Ukraine because, well, not on a political basis. I'm just talking in like terms of the gameplay because landscape-wise, you just have really long highways and whatnot that I have to memorize in Russia. And similarly for Ukraine, it's a lot about memorizing roads, long highways, and yeah, the coverage or yeah, whatnot. We'll see. So I think it could be nice to do that because that way, as I said, like if I only play Russia, then everything will look like Russia to me. But if I play Ukraine as well, then Ukraine will look like Ukraine to me. And hopefully Russia will look like Russia and not Ukraine. We'll see. And then I also want to do, oh yeah, I saw the comments and you guys suggested that I try learning Hangul because it doesn't take too much time. Although I have heard that like like it's I mean it is easy to learn Hangul apparently, that's why I've put it there. I will learn it. But I've also heard that it's not easy to like let's say I know the Hangul for Busan, then identifying it on signs is not going to be that easy basically because in some countries that like there are like certain signs on which you'll find a place name. But apparently in South Korea it's a bit weird where it could show up on quite a variety of signs. So I'll need practice for that. So that I don't know, but it'll take me some time to get used to Hangul gameplay. But that's fine because the week after that I've given to practicing moving in India and South Korea, which is perfect because if I learn Hangul, then I need at least a week to practice. And also India, as I said in my previous video, moving wise, India needs a lot of practice because the road grids, or it's not even a grid, it's just a mess. The way there's just so many like tiny roads in India. It's really hard to 5K stuff it. I feel like, um, especially in cities. So yeah, we'll see. But I need some moving practice for India and South Korea, so that's going to be that week. And then, yeah, here also I want to learn phone codes for Taiwan and South Korea. As I said, for Taiwan, I also want to learn like the province initial thingy. Excuse me. So you can expect all that happening in the first 2 weeks. Week 3, I want to practice South Africa no moving because I know that there are like pole metas and a bunch of other stuff that is known for South Africa, but I've never really invested time to learn it, and I definitely should because it is a big country and it's very easy to lose points or lose games on South Africa. So, um, yeah, that's the week 3 focus, and then week 4. The thing is, these 3 weeks I'm probably not gonna have too much time, so I don't want to do too much. So this week I'm putting it as a revision week, so I have time to practice Russia, Ukraine, US, Kabupaten, Brazil phone codes, Thailand, Thai alphabet, Thai moving. I'll have time for all of that. And then in August, we go to Mexico and Brazil. And the reason I'm splitting it into two is because I don't have enough time. If I had time, then I would do Mexico all month, but I don't. And then, yeah, for Mexico, I'm really bad at Mexico, so I need 3 weeks. That's why I've given it 3 weeks and Brazil 2 weeks because I think I'm better at Brazil than I am at Mexico, to be honest. I can at least somewhat region guess Brazil. Mexico, I'm pretty bad at. But I have been improving recently, I think, but still needs a lot of practice. Um, and when I say month, no moving focus, it's mainly just state streaks. So when I'm doing state streaks, I'm going to learn a lot of things like plates probably, or landscapes, road lines, poles, I don't know, whatever. So all of that is included in this. Moving wise, I've put down a German Landkreise here because I'll probably need 3 weeks to like have them ingrained in my head. Um, and they come out, and the Germany coverage comes out mid-July, so it'll probably have like we'll have 2 weeks at least to see how much coverage we're getting, and also like all the coverage probably won't get released at once, right? So it'll get released in bits and pieces, but I think doing this in early August makes sense because at least I'll have some idea of what German coverage looks like. Um, and then week one, I'm just going to put Greenland, trekkers, northern Canada, Alaskan towns, just the stuff that I like half know. Like I can recognize a few Greenland cities. I can recognize a few northern Canadian towns. And I can recognize a few towns in northern Alaska. But I need um, I need to know all of them basically. That's what I'll do here. And then this week I want to do more NPC practice because I'm not really putting special time into NPC throughout all of this. So I want to give at least 1 week where I'm actually investing some time into NPC. And then moving on from here, week 3, Australia and New Zealand. So it's getting a bit packed, I know. But the thing is, Australia is something that I have played a fair bit from time to time. I'm also hanging out in Australians streams, so I'm watching, young Eddie play or Aussie Golfer stream Australia State Streaks or something. So I have like heard Australia in the background, it's just like information is getting into your head a little bit, it's seeping into me. But I need to actively practice it. I do play it some from time to time on Advanced Australia, but yeah, I could use definitely a lot more practice there. So I'll put some time there. Also New Zealand, but then I also feel like because I just play Australia on streams, if I just go to a stream and keep playing, then I'll probably be playing Australia even outside the schedule. But this will be like focused Australia week. Same with Indonesia. The reason I'm only giving it 1 week is because I have practiced Indo streaks in the past, so I'm not terrible at Indo. And especially after learning all the Kabupaten, I might even be better because you can often find Kabupaten names even no moving. So I don't know. I think, I mean, I would like to invest more time into Indo, but I just don't have enough time. That is the problem. That's why I've put it only for a week, but we'll see how it goes. And then with Brazil, I also want to learn French departments. And I feel like French departments don't really require 2 weeks to learn. But the reason I'm putting it here is because it gives me more time to practice the no moving stuff. So Brazil, Indo, and then also India. Same in India is sort of the same where I used to play. It's not really the same because I used to practice the streaks quite a lot. I got like a 19 streak, and then they just like tripled the coverage. So there's a lot of new coverage that I have no idea about. So I definitely need a whole week of practice for sure. And then also moving focus, as I said, I need some moving practice in Curacao and USVI. And the reason I've put it here is because these are going to be intensive weeks, so I don't want to do too much with moving. This could just be like some casual games on Curacao, and I'll probably just get better like that. Because doing Australia, New Zealand, Mexico, and Landkreise is not easy, and also doing Brazil and Indo is not going to be easy at the same time. So I need something a little more chill here. And here I've put Greek phone codes because I've already learned them for the Paris World Cup. So I can somewhat remember them, but I learned them to 3 digits, which is, I think, the way to do it, because it's like basically like hacking if you know 3 digits of the phone code. So, um, or was it 3 digits or was it 2 digits? No, it was 3 digits, yeah. And sometimes even 4 digits for a couple of them. So, yeah, I just need to relearn them. Some codes that I've forgotten, and Greece should be good. Um, India streaks, I've talked about this. September, we go to Japan in the first half. I have, again, learned Japanese kanji for the prefectures. I don't think I have time to learn it for cities. So, we'll see. Um, yeah, I don't think I have time to spend on that specifically, but like some characters are similar, so maybe I can use that. And yeah, we'll see. But what I'm more interested in is doing no move prefecture streaks, especially because I want to learn like the pole metas, the pole tops. I have learned the plates and the guy wires. The stickers, I know some of them. I could learn more of those. Even maybe the Tomare signs or what else? Like the diamond signs. Yeah, I don't know if I'll learn all that, but maybe. At least the pole tops I do want to learn. So that's that for Japan. Um, I also want to learn French phone codes, 3 digits. So right now I only know the first digit phone codes for France. But if I know 3 digits phone codes, then I'll be pretty okay with France moving, I think. And if not three, then at least 2 digits. But uh, I think three is also doable with 2 weeks. But I might be going a little more ambitious in September. I don't think I might be able to do everything here, but we'll see how it goes. For the weekly no moving, I've put in basically continents instead of countries because there are just a few specific countries that I want to practice, but they don't need a whole week. I don't need to practice Spain for a whole week, let's say, because I mean it would be nice if I could, but given how limited my time is, I can't afford to spend a whole week on Spain. So I want to club it with, yeah, I mean, I could just generate a map for Turkey, Romania, Spain, Italy, and UK and practice on that. Same with Africa, I could just generate a map and play that. Same with these, LATAM, Colombia, Peru, Bolivia, Argentina, and Guatemala. And then for Asia, also Malaysia and Philippines, because I'm already doing Indo, already doing Thailand. Although I could add Thailand, I guess. I don't know. But Malay and Philippines, definitely, I want to focus on. Um, and then also Canada. Canada, I think, is also one of my worst countries. I can't lie. I definitely need to invest time into it. And I feel Canada is like a bit more learnable because there's limited provinces. Um, and just getting the correct province is already a good step. Because the thing is, within the provinces, the landscapes are sort of different. Or at least, like in BC, for example, northern BC doesn't have that much Gen 4, I think, or the camera will be different. And I think um, within the provinces also I will sort of learn if I just play Canada Streaks, like the different roads, because, in Ontario, like Western Ontario highways, I feel like those are probably not too bad to learn. Now, learning Northern Sask, Northern Manitoba, differentiating that from the southern ones could be harder, for example, but I don't know. We'll find out when we play this. But I feel like Canada is probably doable in 2 weeks. Maybe a bit ambitious to combine it with all this, but we'll see. Colombia, Peru, yeah, like these I'm not really good at, but I don't have time to, you know, master all of these. So that's just how it is. And then moving focus, I've put here Peru provinces, Colombia provinces, Ecuador provinces, Guatemala departments. Basically everything that I'm going to practice in this week, I just want to know the province names beforehand. So if I see a province name, I know which province I'm in, basically. I've put Turkey phone calls here. Um, I'm not really sure if I will actually do it because I don't really know how useful it's even going to be because you're not usually going to find phone calls on highways, and if you're in a city, then usually you'll just find the city name. So I don't really know if I'll need phone codes for Turkey, but maybe it'll be useful. I don't know. If I have time, then I'll do it. That's sort of the thing I have here. And then October, I'm just going to leave that for revision and practice. And if there's something else that's left, like let's say after all this, I'm like, no, I still need to work a lot on Japan, then sure, I can focus on Japan in the first week of October or something. And it could very well happen that I just can't practice some things, or like I don't have time for like 4 weeks, and I lose 4 weeks of practice here. And in that case, yeah, we'll just have to cut down something else and just make sure that the important ones are done, like Russia, US, like all these are pretty important. They all have to be done. Um, Cup 1 is very important, Thai is very important. German Landkreise also important, but we don't have coverage yet, so I don't know. French stuff, I could maybe skip, like I could skip French departments maybe. Russia phone codes I could skip maybe. Um, yeah, I don't know. Ukraine is necessary, South Africa is necessary. I could skip these. Or I could even, like, if I'm not able to do Russia and US properly, I could just use this NMPZ week for this and just. Well, the thing is, I probably won't have too much time, but whatever time I have, I could invest in, Russia or US instead. That's a possibility. So as I said, I want to be flexible with all this. Don't waste too much time on, uh, you know, I don't want to be, I don't want it to be like super structured, like, oh, this has to happen this week. I want to be more flexible with it, and basically, I need to have a level of comfort, right? If I have a level of comfort with the cover button, it's okay, I can move on. If not, then I need to try it again. So that's it for all this, and as I said, you'll see videos for this every week, or hopefully every week. If not, then every 2 weeks, if I miss a week. But yeah, my goal is every week, and then also we'll hopefully get more players. Now, since the previous video, I have been practicing a couple of things. First of them was duels, because I almost never play duels, like the official competitive thing. So I was at like 1200 or 1300 rating or something in the past, and now I'm at 1500. I grinded up to 1500. So where am I on the leaderboard actually? 67. Oh, right below Trickter. uh, and there's Fungus as well. So yeah, um, I might grind more just because I need to get more comfortable with the format of duels because it's quite different, right? I feel like it's different when you're just playing a game in your own time and when you're playing in duels because you have the time pressure. If the opponent guesses quickly, then you should be prepared to insta guess. And if they're playing moving, then we can also play moving. Yeah, I don't know. There's a bunch of different strategies. If it's a really good moving player, you can insta guess against them. Yeah, I don't know. So I've been playing that. I got to 1500 and probably I'll just keep playing that a little bit more in my spare time. My very little spare time, to be honest. With all this preparation, I don't know how much spare time there'll be. And one more thing I wanted to show you was a really good speedrun game that I had and how I blew one of probably the best games I could have had of all time. Um, if you saw my speedrun video from like 3 weeks ago or something, um, I uploaded like a few. I uploaded a sub 6 minute game or something, But I told you that my goal is to get a sub 5 minute run, and not just a sub 5, I was basically on pace for a sub 4 minute run. So let's actually show you the footage, and I can try and commentate a little bit. There it is. So if I bring it here and full screen, okay, now you can see. Oh, you can't see. Now you can see, okay. So there we start the game. We're in Colombia with the yellow plates. And on taxis, you get the city names usually. So I'm zooming on taxis. You see that little white box at the bottom of that. There's the city name. But here it just says something Colombia. So that's not the town name, of course. So I'm moving a little bit, trying to see if I can find another taxi that can tell me. And there on the roof of the taxi is Barranquilla. So I zoom into Barranquilla. It's a bit laggy here because I don't know. Uh, Maybe I could just upload this on YouTube and you could see the unedited version. So I find Barranquilla and then I look for this Buena Vista and Falabella or whatever. Those are pretty big buildings, so I thought they're probably findable. And there's Buena Vista right away, and I just sent. I don't really bother 5King. And here I see it says Kedu, which is a city I recognize in Bhutan. And for whatever reason, I just decide that okay, I'll just send. Like you can clearly see that the road forms like a grid here, but I didn't really bother trying to line up. I got 4996, and the reason for that actually is because I was getting really bad seeds. So I thought that yeah, I'll probably just get another bad seed. So it's probably not worth spending time on 5K in Bhutan. Just send and hope for the best. But no, and we end up in Taiwan in the next round, road number 8. So I find road number 8, and then I just decide, you know what, let's just line it up because it's already not a 25K, so I might as well just see what happens. There's a river to our south, so I find that. And then to our east, there's like a tunnel type thing and a road north, and I find that fairly quickly. So that worked out, and then we are on the highway in Japan that's like close to the Dead Sea. I forgot the highway number, but you know which one. And again, I just line it up and see if there's something that fits. That looks somewhat okay, not exactly correct, but as like it's not a 25K anyway, so I might as well just send. And it was just one bend down. If I spent like a couple more seconds, I probably would have found that, but I didn't really try because I was already not on track for a 25K. Here we are in Brazil for the final round. This is just me playing it out to see how sad I should be that I didn't 5K Bhutan, basically. Otherwise, I would have just reset already. But I decided to keep playing just to see if, you know, was it actually an insane seed and did I just throw? I see a 2-2 phone code, so that gives me a general region of, around Rio somewhere. Um, but let's see if we find something else. Not here. Oh, or is there something here? Why did I zoom in? Oh, maybe I missed something. Did it say something? Probably not. Maybe I just put my marker down for the 2-2 phone code. And here's another sign with the phone code, but it also says Campos Rio de Janeiro. And Campos is a pretty big city in the east. And then there's also Jardim or Jardim Carioca. So I think looking for that for a little bit, but I don't seem to come across it. Um, so let's see what I do. I just line up the road. Oh no, there was RJ224, wasn't there? Yeah, it was on the sign, yes. And then I find the 5K. Let me actually just go back to check. I think it said E. Did it say RJ224? Well, actually, I don't even remember how I 5K'd this. I don't see it. Hardim Carioca. Did I find that? No. Okay, maybe I saw it earlier, or maybe I just no, but nah, I need to go back and watch this. I've definitely missed something here. It probably said the road number somewhere, or maybe I'm making that up, but I don't know. Or maybe I just lined up something that looked good and maybe it was the 5K. I don't know. Ah, I don't see I don't see it. Maybe I just lined up something that looked good and it was correct. That's possible. I don't know. But in any case, I did 5K that round, so we ended up with 3 minutes 52 seconds and unfortunately 4977, but that would have been a 5K if I had this 5K. So let's say maybe I couldn't do it in 4 minutes, but like definitely sub 5 was on the plate there. But I threw, and that could have been a really good game from me, but a little bit sad. But you know, we just keep grinding and see when we get a good game, we'll get a good game basically. Um, yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about anymore, but that's all I had to say for today's video. I've been playing duels. I got a pretty good speedrun game that I threw, and we have a plan in place. So with all that, next episode you should expect to see me do well with Brazilian phone codes, do okay with Kyrgyzstan and Cambodia as well, and maybe a bit of Russia, maybe some Kabupaten. We'll see. We'll see how much I can get done. Um, yeah, I guess if it's yeah, it's 15th for me today that I'm recording this. So till 25th, if I upload, because there's probably no point uploading on 19th because I'm not gonna get much done in 4 days. So I'll upload at the end of next week, and you'll get to see all the stuff. So that should be exciting. Thank you for watching, and I'm excited to find out who else they invite. Already a pretty stacked lineup. Very fierce competition, to be honest. As I said, I would be happy to just get out of group stage. This is a pretty strong competition. And I'm not going to worry too much about the competition because ultimately, you know, there are players who are better than me playing. There are players who have more time to practice than me, and just overall, um, I forgot what I was going to say, but basically, I'm just looking forward to be there and give it my best, basically. It's going to be a fun event, right? That's having fun is the most important thing to me when it comes to this game, at least. Like the moment I stop having fun is when I probably will step aside from the game for a bit because um, to me that's what it's all about. I don't really want to be like the best player in the world or anything. That's not my goal. In fact, I absolutely would not want to be the best player in the world. That's too much pressure. And I like that I'm going into this competition with like little to no pressure, uh, just to, hang out with friends and give it my best at a tournament. And yeah, we'll see what happens. But that's it for this video. I won't keep you any longer. Thank you for watching and looking forward to Germany coverage, looking forward to new announcements for players. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you have a nice week. Bye bye.